Have you tried Simon Hurley's solar paste with embossing folders? I just found them and am so happy I did. Hello and welcome to Karen's Creative Cards on YouTube. I am Karen Hashik and I am loving how easy it is to make gorgeous metallic embossed backgrounds with just a few supplies. Solar paste start as a creamy white paste, and when the jar is opened, and when it hits the light, it transforms into a paste with a metallic color shift. So I had tried one of the solar pastes in a class with Simon Hurley and immediately knew I wanted to get more. All we need to create gorgeous cards like these are black cardstock, 3D embossing folders, and some dies. I found I liked the ones I created with 3D embossing folders with a pattern all over it, like this one from Simon Says Stamp, and this one from Sizzix. So here are the first two cards that I created. Frame dies like this gorgeous one from Spellbinders over an embossed metallic shimmery background makes for a lovely card in just minutes. So as you can see, it has a metallic shine that shimmers and changes with the light. This one I simply cut the embossed solar paste background into 3 strips and added a pretty sentiment from Gina K Designs. So if I applied it in strips like that with many different colors, and then I embossed it with a pretty 3D embossing folder. Here are the 6 colors of solar paste currently available. I made a sampler here just to be able to see what the colors look like. So the Crocodile Tears is a green, and the Beluga is a blue, and the Royal Flush is a purple. I didn't put a lot on there, but you can tell and you'll see it better in the samples that I show. Then there is my favorite is the Golden Hour, which is a gold, and what's called Overheated, which is kind of a bronzy orange there. And then there is a Cross My Heart, which is kind of a pink. I tried them on white cardstock and light colored cardstock, but I like them much better on the black or dark colored cardstock. But if you want just a tiny bit of shimmer, try them on white or light colored cardstock. Here are a couple more cards I created with 2 Sizzix embossing folders. They're all 3D. This is one from Tim Holtz, and then I have one called Mosaic Gems, which is also Sizzix. So if you can see, the background again has that really pretty metallic shimmery color in it, and then I just cut the same embossing folder out with a cat scrappiness background die and raised it up there for a very pretty card. This one I created with that other Sizzix embossing folder, and a kind of a fun fold, and then the different colors of that solar paste. Simon Hurley recommends applying with the Ranger Distress Tools and sponges. And after completing a play session, the sponges can be cleaned out with warm soap and water and then reused. If you don't, they will harden and have to be discarded eventually. But he says in between playing with them, if you just have a piece of paper towel and take some of the paste off, that will help too. I am going to cover my surface with some scrap paper, as I find that it is a little difficult to clean up, not a lot, but just to make it a little easier, I'm going to use some scratch paper. I have them lined up here with some distress tools, and I'm also just going to use a piece of a media mat here to apply some as I put it on. I'm going to create a 5x7 black cardstock piece with all 6 colors, and then a smaller one with 3 of the colors. At least that's the plan. So I think I'm going to start with Cross My Heart. I had these kind of in an order here. Let's see if I can kind of determine which ones I've been playing with here. Cross My Heart again is kind of a pink, and what I've been doing is just applying a little bit to the craft mat and then picking it up with a distress tool and sponge, and then just applying it not real thick, but just with the sponge. And then I just take a baby wipe and clean that up. And then next I'm going to use the Overheated, which is kind of a orangey coppery color. I played yesterday and I didn't clean my sponges, so I can kind of tell that they're a little rougher today, but I don't mind that some of that black will show through there. I think we'll still like the look. And then I'm going to do some Golden Hour, which is a really pretty gold. So I can tell that it's not going on quite as smooth. I know that I want some of this Golden Hour on this one too, so I think I will just go ahead and apply it on that one. And then we're going to do some Crocodile Tears. Which is a pretty green. I think I need another baby wipe. And then let's use some of the blue, which Simon calls Beluga. And then Royal Flush, which is a very pretty purple. Now this dries very quickly. Can be dried with a heat gun or just let to sit for just a little while, but it doesn't take long at all for it to dry. I know that I want some of this purple on this one as well. In fact, I think I'll put it on both sides. I'm using a navy blue textured linen on the second piece just to see if we like it as much as on the black. So I'm going to clean this up and come back and finish some cards with you. Okay, I've cleaned up the mess, and full disclosure, I redid the ones that I showed you. I learned a valuable lesson and I will share it with you. You really do need to clean out the sponges, even if you're just going to let them sit overnight. So I had gotten some pretty bad streaks on the one that I did. Once it was starting to dry, I knew that I wouldn't be happy with it. So I got some clean sponges out and redid it, and now this one is really much prettier, as is this one. Now this is the one I did on the navy, so there isn't a lot of difference, except I would think that like the gold or the purple really doesn't show as true color on like the navy as it does on the black. So this is the purple, the blue, the gold. So these colors really do show really wonderfully on the black cardstock, but I still do like the look. I'm using the Spellbinders Beveled Diamonds on both the cards that I'm going to finish putting together. I like the ones that have a pattern all over, and this one is really debossed and embossed for a beautiful look. The idea that I had on the smaller one was to go ahead and emboss it, which I did. I had cut out the love letters using this die, and to be honest, I don't remember where I got it, but I knew I kind of wanted to do the eclipse look here. So I have also cut them out of a fun foam that has an adhesive on the back, and I'm going to go ahead and put them in here so it's raised when I put the other ones back on. I love the eclipse look that has the pattern that flows from the background into the letters. And I know this is something that's been around for a long time, but it's one of those techniques that I like to use, that we forget to use, and is really a pretty look, rather than just put the letters on top of a background. So I'll make this one a love card. I saved the center of the O when I cut out the letters, and I'm going to put this back in. And then we will glue on the L-O-V-E. Another lesson I learned is don't bother with doing a really good manicure or trying to clean your hands when you're doing these techniques, because I'm pretty much going to have to start over again, but no big deal. So these solar pastes make a beautiful background, whether you're using all the colors or just one, or a combination of 1, 2, or 3. Another thing that Simon had shared is that you can mix your dye reinkers in them and get a new color. And it kind of, like if you put, I think we put a blue in the purple, so if you looked at it one way it was purple, and if you looked at another way, the other way it was blue. It was really cool. So I know I'm going to experiment more. My next video I'm going to be using these and his other pastes with stencils. And I will maybe try adding some inks in too. It's fun just to have a play when you have these really cool products. So there's one card completed with that pretty 3D embossed background and the love popping out of there. I am going to emboss this one. I thought I'd show you a couple more samples before I do. Here's one that I did. The background had the greens and the golds, and these die cut flowers were also created, I think, with the one of the colors that kind of turned kind of bronzy brown there. And I even took some of the gold and added some water and did some spattering on that one. So I don't know if you can see that or not, but I love how that one turned out. Here's one I did with a floral 3D embossing folder that had matching dies to cut out. I did use several colors and kind of a circular motion, but I think as I found I really preferred the embossing to be all over and to maybe go more in strips, but I still do like how that background turned out. And then here's another really pretty one I made. This one had I think it's an Altenew, I believe, 3D embossing background. And then I was playing with some new dies I got from Concord and Ninth, and I love that Take Care. That's a perfect sentiment for so many things. And this heart, which is like, it's called Knit with Care. So it kind of looks like it's got little hearts in that heart. And then this one here, Knitting Together dies, I'm going to use some of those in the card I create with this other background. So this is the embossing folder I have, and this one's really interesting because it gives a different look whether you use the front or the back. Sometimes it's more debossed or embossed. I'm going to use the back, and I am going to spritz the back of this and get it just a little wet so it really gets embossed beautifully with that 3D. I also like the size of this embossing folder because I can choose to make a bigger card with it. I've figured out the sandwich to get a good pressure, but my machine is off camera as I don't have room for it in my little bit of workspace here. So, isn't that pretty? You see that? Now, as you can see, there's a really cool pattern on the back, but I decided to go with this side that's a little more debossed. Both sides are really, really beautiful, and I like all those different colors on there. So, I have a white 5x7 card base that I'm going to attach that on. I created a vellum strip that says Warm Wishes, and I put a couple of the hearts from that die set that has a really fun several balls of yarn and some knitting needles and a string of yarn on there, and I just thought the fact that we were using a knitting ball with warm wishes. So this actually said warm winter wishes, but I kind of like the idea that I would be able to use it at any time of the year. So I cut off the winter part of that. So I'm going to put this vellum strip. I had kind of folded it, but it looks like it needs to be a little bigger, but that's okay. And we're going to tape it on the back. And make sure it's straight. Now what I found was, because this is so embossed and debossed and with that much paste on there, that it was really hard to get the glue to hold it in place. So I found that I was having better success with a score tape to attach things. So I am going to put a nice thick score tape on all 4 sides. Maybe one down the center just to be sure that it's going to hold. Alright, and then get this lined up along here. It's most important, of course, that this side not show any white, but I can trim anything excess off on this side. Looks like I need a little better scissors, a little stronger scissors than what I was using. Okay, we have warm wishes, and then I just put a pop square on there and put those on. And our card is done with our beautiful shimmery metallic embossed background, warm wishes, and a really cute ball of yarn. I love how all these cards turned out with the solar paste on 3D embossed backgrounds and a few die cuts to finish, and hope my cards inspire you to give some of these ideas and products a try and then send some homemade joy out into this world.